lesson 4, pollination, okay? Pollination is amazing to me, okay? It is amazing how all of this comes together and works together in order for new plants to grow and survive, okay? Let's look at it. What is pollen? Why is pollen important to plant life? Pollen is a yellow, powdery substance found in plants that allows them to make seeds. Now, I added 2 pictures here because this is one way that we recognize pollen. During the springtime, our cars look like this. And this is just a little funny. It said, "Welcome to the Carolinas. We don't get much snow. What we get is worse, so very much worse." And it's talking about the pollen, okay? A lot of times during the spring, early spring, up until about now, you will see cars and they'll be almost yellow, okay? That is the pollen that is coming from all the plants, okay? And then this is just a little funny too, that pollen does this to us quite often, and it makes us sneeze a lot. So here's the flower and the pollen coming off of it, and it's making us sneeze, okay? That's kind of how it affects us. But it is very important to flowers, okay? All right, what is pollination? Pollination is the process of pollen being transferred from plant to plant in order for those plants to produce seeds, okay? And here is a diagram, and it says pollination. The one part of the flower called the anther makes the pollen, okay? So these little stems here, that's the anther. Another part of the flower called the pistil leads to the eggs, okay? So down here are the eggs. This is the pistil, okay? Now, what I wanted to show you quickly back here, here, okay? I wanted to show you this, okay? So here we have the flower. These are the anthers. These 3 things you see right here. Those are what make pollen, okay? Then you have the pistil, and then down here are the ovaries or the eggs, okay? Now what happens is pollinators, bees, hummingbirds, butterflies, anything that is considered a pollinator will go to one flower and drink the nectar, and then they'll go to another flower. Well, when they go to the other flower, what happens is they land on it and they're drinking the nectar and they're enjoying it, and then some of that pollen falls off. What happens is it comes down into here, which then that pollen helps create, or helps the flower make new seeds, so that those seeds can then go and make new flowers, okay? So that's just why I wanted to show you that picture, because it was a good diagram of the pistil and the ovaries and the anthers right there that kind of shows you what's what. Okay? Now these are some of the pollinators that we have. We have hummingbirds, butterflies, and honeybees. And there are some other ones, but these are the 3 main ones that are called pollinators, or the animals that move pollen from one flower to another. Alright, now this is a short Disney video called The Beauty of Pollination, and it's just talking and showing us how wonderful and amazing that pollination can be. Okay, so I wanted to show you if I can get it to go back. Let's see. Right here. See when the honeybee is inside the flower and it's drinking up all the nectar, it is getting all that pollen on it so that when it goes to the next flower, it will transport that pollen to the next flower. And see all these little dusty things that you saw in the video? That is pollen. So that when it goes from one flower to the next, it's depositing that pollen into the next flower, which helps the flower to make new flowers, okay, or to make seeds. Now, this is one thing that we didn't talk about, was another pollinator is the bat. And this is going to be kind of hard to see there probably. But the bat is nocturnal. We know that from when we read Stellaluna. So the nocturnal bat goes and it gets the nectar and the pollen at night, during the nighttime, okay? All right. So we can add the bat here as a pollinator also. Now that was just a video that I thought you would enjoy. I thought it was really pretty. All the different hummingbirds and butterflies and bees and bats, and it was showing you how it transfers pollen from one flower to the next. All right, here's your activity. It says write about how plants are pollinated, okay? Again, you can go back and relook at it. You can look at the videos again, whatever you need to do to just write a good, at least 4 or 5 sentences about how plants are pollinated. What happens in order for pollen to be transferred from one plant to the next. All right, and then the next lesson will be lesson 5, about traveling seeds.